And there were already some questions on how do you run this with Howspace? How have you really been using Howspace? And now I believe that everyone has gotten some kind of an experience already today. What can you do with the platform, and how can you engage people in this kind of a transformation event? But I would trust and hope that you are sharing a bit more views on how to use the platform, what's the key for the product at the moment, and also where are we heading? What's coming up next? So please, Ilkka, share your views.
Thank you so much. Is this changing the slides? Yes. Looks like my dad, that one. Older guy there. So, there's a new slogan that we are testing today: how you do it matters. How does it sound? Great? Not great? All right. So I think there's some important enablers and ideas before I go to the product. And one thing is the language that is really important in human collaboration and dialogue. And what has been changing, and something that is hard to recognize because it has been sliding into our lives, is that there used to be like two totally different languages, like written language and spoken language. And now, during the times of social media, how we are writing things are more relaxed, more informal, and that culture is now something that we need to use in organizations as well. When we are using documents and official meetings and formal language, it's not engaging people. How can we change the language to the one that we are using in our free time in social media, so that we can more easily connect to each other? And I think that is already happening, moving from like document-centric collaboration to dialogue-centric way of working. Then another thing that has been mentioned today is the power of good questions, and empowering questions. And I think it's so sensitive area that what kind of questions we are using. One example could be that if we ask from people an appreciative question like, what is working in our organization? So that appreciating the good things. Then when people are answering, it might be a place for arguing, because then there's truth, there's wrong answers, right answers, because we are talking about what the absolute fact of this organization is. But when we ask that, what is working in this organization for you? And the answers can be the same, but then everyone is right, and there's enriching perspectives coming through every comment. So it's really a piece of art that how we are formulating the questions in a way that it connects people and not put people apart from each other. When we started to create Howspace and we were talking with customers or prospects, my favorite method was to listen to customers, ask questions, and go to a flip chart and start drawing a process that, okay, we need to have a workshop with management first, and then we will invite people, and how will it move on? So visualizing that how this could go on. And just recently, after too many years, we released a widget called Journey Widget, that can be done in Howspace, and you can add links in there so that everyone in transformation or learning processes can see that, aha, this is the path that we are going to go. We are here. I have my role in there. Their management is making decisions. Then we continue together. And I think it's really important for us as humans to really know in a visual manner that how we are operating in here. And then we quite often talk about creating a context. And what is a big challenge with many technologies today in collaboration space is that they are offering a flow of information. It's just like passing somehow, and there's no structures, and you don't know where we are moving. It's just like a flow of communication. And what is important for us is that this journey widget and the whole idea of workspaces is based on structured and facilitated led process. It can be visualized, it can be structurized, and then everything that we are doing is in the context. So we don't have just one chat with like chaotic amount of different topics, but we have like everything in the context in a way that it makes sense, like we have been using today. So if all this discussion would be in one chat, it doesn't make any sense. And then people is important part of the context, one of the context markers. Then, to be a driver of the process, whether you are a leader or a facilitator, a consultant, it's important that you know as much as possible of the process. And what this means in Howspace, that you can see that what has been the activity level, do I need to do something as a leader or facilitator? And this is like a general level, but then you can go into the details, that who has seen this video, how far, who has seen this page. Like for me, as a board member, it's important to check out before the board meeting that have they watched the video? Have they gone through the slides? I need to remind. So, and having like automated reminders based on behavior, so that you don't have to do it manually all. And when we talk about active participation, it's so important to offer all the possible ways to get into the platform. So is it magic link? Just one click away, it takes you right to the right workspace, right page, and then you can participate during your busy day, or adding as much security layers as needed in the process, and getting notified when there's something meaningful happening. Then, sense making once again, and there's a big ear in the center. So what is a big difference with Howspace approach is that people can talk about involvement, and they are really talking about surveys. So one-way data collection. And once you make it transparent, it makes a big difference. Then you are not just giving input and will be reported back afterwards, but you will hear all the voices, and that creates a possibility for dialogue. So it's enriching everyone's thinking, and it's transparent in real time. What is really interesting in organizations is that, are we brave enough to do it with our name and faces when we are communicating, or does it have to be anonymous? And sometimes I've been talking about like two generations of anonymity. The one that is required because people are afraid, that they are not writing anything if their name and face are shown. And at the same time, we are so used in social media to be there. No one can be anonymous in social media. But then we are hesitating that how do we operate? Are we brave enough? But then I think there's anonymity generation too. That means that sometimes it's really useful that if I'm writing something to Howspace as CEO, somehow it's heard like a bigger font or bolded because of my position. And when we would like to have like equal discussion, then anonymity can be really useful. So it's about the motivation why we are showing names and faces, or when we are anonymous. And then we have been focusing a lot in sense making, that how can it be made in a way that it's like enriching the dialogue. And when we are talking about AI, it's interactive and encouraging you to come back to the dialogue, not thinking that it's like the final truth that AI is giving us. What I'm personally really like enthusiastic about today is inclusivity that we have been adding to the platform just lately. Technically, that means that you can write, you can talk, you can record videos. Those are transcribed in real time. It can be translated between almost any languages. Last week we added some languages I had never heard about from Malaysia and Indonesia and so on. So you can use your own native language and everything will be translated. And even what is transcribed is analyzed by AI in real time. So imagine people talking while working with 30 different languages all over the world, and you can see analysis of those. And if you would like to go and check out what was said or written, you just click the word cloud or theme cluster, and then you can see that, aha, what was the actual comment that was there, and then you can listen if you understand the language, or you can see the translated transcription. So that is something that personally I've been dreaming about for 15 years, and now it's here. Then, important part of usage of Howspace is a unique combination of asynchronous and synchronous work. Like for this event we started a couple of days ago, introducing ourselves, sharing our stories and so on. And now we can promise that if there's any questions also for me, we will continue the dialogue afterwards. So it's not something that is not just happening right now. And I think it's really natural way of working that, for example, when there's a meeting coming, you can start beforehand, you can use the same technology during the meeting, and then there can be a natural flow of dialogue afterwards. Then it's like slowing down, disappearing at some point. But it doesn't have to be like structured, formal process how it goes. For example, internally, when we have monthly meetings, every team is recording their reports, 2 or 3 minute videos with slides, like a week before. So that once we come together, we are not reporting to each other, but we are having a dialogue based on the stuff that was like part of the preparation phase of information that was available for everyone. And then what is great in that way of working, you just watch the videos that are relevant for you. So if I'm in a certain team that has a relationship and meaningful connection to just one team, then you check that out. So we are not spending time like having everyone in the same meeting and hearing all the reports that are meaningless for you. So it's saving a lot of time. So we have been developing AI in Howspace for about 5 years now. And the whole idea of Howspace has been from the beginning that I mentioned that we were like doing consulting and thought that now we need to bring everyone together through technology to make a change happen. And that was based on the idea that organization culture is changing one dialogue at a time. And that needs to be like made transparent in order to change the organization cultures. So you've seen some of the examples of word clouds, summaries, sentiment analysis, and theme clusters today in here. What was updated for internal testing yesterday evening was integration with OpenAI. And what you can do there is that you can ask about the dialogue, anything. There's like ready-made prompts that you can pick up from, and then you can save the results what AI is giving you. So it's OpenAI, but it's like Howspace GPT, so it has been tuned for our purpose. It's not searching for data outside of Howspace, but it's helping us to understand each other. And then there's like opening for new ways of working. So once you get a list of 5 next actions, you can use it like making it visible for participants. You can create a poll, you can vote for it, you can create a pulse, so it auto-generates the stuff on behalf of you in real time. So really changes and makes collaboration even more rapid. Then productizing services and new ways of working. We have a template gallery, so if you are not that familiar with Howspace, you can get started even with free version by going into Howspace gallery. And there's like tens of different workspace templates that can be like the whole process of doing something within your organization or with your customers. And then you have a possibility to create your own templates for your repeatable processes or your organizational templates, even workspace templates, so for onboarding, for gatherings, for team meetings, for any kind of processes with any size that is internally usable. And if you like, they can be shared for the public as well, so they can be global. We have been lately talking about using the word transformative or transformation. And I think everything we do in Howspace is transformative. So it's like changing how organizations are developed, how learning is transformative, that can be done in Howspace, how communities can be transformative. Hanna showed me some marks. This is last slide. Something that I couldn't be more proud of is that we are doing this with great passion, and I hope that you can feel it, that we feel that we are doing something really important for you and for the world. And now Q3 just ended, and we have been collecting NPS data from our customers. And in Finland, our NPS number is 100. And as you can see, it's all green. There's not even any number 8 or 7. It's all 9s or 10s. So something that is hard to keep in that level, but we try to do our best. And then there's a nice quote that we got as part of NPS from the biggest company in the world, with 2.2 million employees, and they are pretty happily using Howspace as part of their learning and development work. Thank you so much.